Hello everyone, Sega Man Tony back here with another vintage review. I made one already. I have another system here that I want to review, plus a couple of old school instruction booklets and catalogs. I'm going to be doing these not a whole lot. This is not a pickups video. I do like doing pickup videos, but I do really enjoy trying different things. And yeah, I have it in this box here. It's really old school, and this system is it's part of my childhood. Growing up, I was poor, didn't really have much. My very first game system ever was from my grandmother. She's passed away a long time ago. It was an Atari 7800. This is not the 7800 that we're going to be talking about today. This is a totally different system. But I actually picked this up a year or two ago, actually at my local thrift store called St. Vincent's de Paul. I had a friend that used to work there, and anything game related that came in, he gave it to me dirt cheap, regardless, because either he didn't test it yet, or he put what he thought it was worth and he ticketed it. So he doesn't no longer work there, and sometimes I can still go up and find deals. But yeah, Rich, his name was Rich. He was a really cool guy, and I found a lot of stuff from him. He helped me with a lot of the stuff that I get. Not the majority, but pretty much when he worked there. So let's just get right on into it, and I'll show you what I got here for the vintage review here. Now this actually, when he worked there, it was up there. And I was really happy to get this and add this to the number of systems that I have, vintage systems that I have, along with current. And I'm going to show you the system first here. It is a Atari 2600 Junior. Right there. This is really a cool and unique, sleek system that Atari brought out. I don't know if they brought this system out to compete with Nintendo, or maybe they brought it out to maybe cut down on costs to see if they can sell more of the Atari 2600 brand. But I only paid a whopping, I think it was $5 for this, including a couple games. The games are in here that they're not like the labels. There's a label that's off, but that's what he had. Whoever donated this, I guess, put that in with it. And yeah, and it also, what's really good about finding this system is it still has the description on the back, the serial number, and everything on the back there. And it's in really good condition. I tried it out, and it's just an awesome 2600 system. Today, when you find Atari 2600 systems, the big ones, you either don't have all the pieces with it. When you go to put it into your older TV, you might get a lot of snow in it when you're trying to play a game, because maybe the connections are bad or whatever. But yeah, growing up, this is all I had, and it's just a really nice system to have. And let me show you some of the accessories I got for it here. Let's see. Here's some. These are actually Atari. I believe these are Atari. These also work for the Atari 7800. But these are the controllers that came with it. But I heard there's actually an Atari controller that you can get that actually looks like an NES controller, or a Sega Master System controller. It has two buttons on it, and in the D-pad. But yeah, but before that, that's what you had to use, and a lot of people hate these controllers. But it's vintage, and it's worth having. If you have an Atari 2600. And this also came with it. It has the turn dial and the joystick thing here. It doesn't say what it is or anything like that, but yeah, this was one of the controllers that actually came with it when he gave me it. And there's a couple games. I don't want to really show it because I don't know what they are. I will show you this. It says Star Voyager. The top of it is pretty beat up, pretty bad. I believe I have an extra Star Voyager in my Atari game collection there. And these are really hard to find in good condition. This is in pretty decent condition. And that's the, the connector antenna. And, when you want to hook it up to your TV, you have to have this part hook into the back. And, every time I find these horseshoe things here, they're always broken off. Sometimes this doesn't work right, when you go to switch to game, the screws are missing off of this. I guess to hook, to hook your antenna to, in the old days when you would play games, maybe for better reception. And this here is the plug that actually goes to the Atari 2600. But yeah, it's I was just very happy to get it, especially for the price. It was only $5, and I had a lot of enjoyment with the Atari 2600. I think most of my enjoyment came with the first system I ever owned was the Atari 7800. And I do have a 7800, but it needs some work. So I'm thinking maybe buying a new 7800, in the future here to add to my collection. But I want to show you some kind of rare things from Atari. A few of these books here. This is for the Atari 5200. It's a pole position manual. What I like about Atari's manuals is I like the artwork on it. It just looks really cool. When you get games today, classic. When you get games today, you don't get that anymore. And this is from 1983. You don't get that anymore. When you open an Xbox One game, there's nothing in there except the game, the new smell of the game. Everybody loves that, and maybe you might have a code for extra content, but very rarely do you see any more instruction booklets or anything like that inside there. I guess it costs more to do that. Like if you look at this Atari 5200 Pac-Man book, I mean, it's just it looks like their heart and soul was poured into making these these things. For when you bought the game, and I guess today they just, maybe it costs more to do it. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, here's a Star Wars, the arcade game for the 5200. I have that, not no really good artwork on there or anything. I'm gonna show you some more here. I'll save the best for last here. It's in okay condition, and I'm actually going to put it up. But you got Super Mario Brothers for the 5200. Yeah, it's just it's good to keep these. It's good to keep these books and actually keep them in good condition. I need to. There's, what is this? Let me see. Soccer. That's another one. Football. This one here, it's kind of cool. It's actually Parker Brothers video game. More games, more systems, more fun. And it's a little plain kind of looking on the front there, but it gives you an idea of what games were available then. Description of all the games, and what was available then, which is really cool. Here's another one, baseball for the 5200. A lot of people hate sports games. What's really good to also have, too, people always, when they were younger, you always were told, throw the box out or whatever. It always had this in it. It's also good to have the owner's manual. And that's the owner's manual for the 5200. And a lot of people today, when they collect, they want to try to get all this, if they can with it. You know what I mean? Like it shows you the pad things you had to put on there, the description of it and everything. And it's just good to keep those things now. You know, people are starting to realize today, you know, hey, you know, should have kept that. You know, it's because if you go to sell that system and you have that stuff, you get more for it. This is another, it's a little rinky-dink one here. It's Night Driver, you know, for the Atari 2600. Now, you know, that doesn't have a whole lot inside. It's just a thin piece of paper, and you just open it up like that. Another one we got here is, let me see, Countermeasure, I think, for the Atari 5200. You know, like I said, the artwork on here, you know, was just really good, and you know, it shows you, you know, some of the gameplay inside there, and you know, that's just really cool. I like things like that. This is the Video Computer System Owner Manual, they called, for the original Atari 2600, which is awesome. Some people really try hard to find these things, you know. An old girlfriend of mine, April, you know, she gave me a lot of her Atari stuff that was just sitting in her basement. You know, she just gave it to me, you know, when I went to see her, you know. And, no, we didn't do anything. That was back in high school. But anyways, here's another one here. It's Activision video game cartridge catalog. It has, you know, River Raid in there, you know, Spider Fighter, Dolphin, Sequest, all these old school really good games, you know, back in the 80s of your childhood that were just really awesome, you know. And here's another one, Tennis, you know, for the Atari 5200, you know. Even though it's a sports game, the way they did the art was really cool. Now, I heard this is kind of sought after a little bit. It's the Atari Video Game Computer System Catalog. And, you know, the old school art form of this is just really cool. It definitely reminds you of the vintage 80s. You know, the way cartoons and characters were drawn. And, you know, you see all this cool different, you know, artwork inside here. You know, like it shows you a description of Space Invaders, you know, and really cool things like that, which is really awesome. Let's show one more here. Let's see. We have another good one here, and well, not really, you know, just there's a couple different ones in here, like this one here. It says Othello, but if you look at that guy in the background, he kind of looks like that guy from G.I. Joe. I can't remember his name. If it was no, I can't remember the guy's name. Of Destro, I think it was, the guy with the silver head. But it kind of reminds you of that guy, and yeah, it's really cool to have. Now, the last thing I want to show here, I think a lot of people try to collect these if they can find them in good condition. Like I said, this is in alright condition. Is Atari Force Book 1. It actually was a comic book. And I think I put this on my Facebook page one time. People were like, wow, they couldn't believe I had this. You know, it shows all the characters right there. You know, like I'll show you a couple. Like here's the beginning of it. You know, some of the artwork here, and some of the storyline right here that starts the book. But yeah, you know, I think this is really awesome to have. You know, it is a little beat up. You know, it was in her cellar. I don't know if it was in a box and it just by the time wore out or whatever. But yeah, it's always good to keep these things and have things like this. You know, if you're a serious collector of video games, it's just good to keep everything that comes with it. And I just wanted to share that my vintage review with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I always want to say thank you very much to everybody that watches my videos. Please subscribe or tell people about Sega Man Tony. I really appreciate it. And stay happy and keep gaming. I'll talk to you later.